Hey, what is up guys, Till Monday here, back with another video for you, and today I'm playing some good old SWTOR. Part of this video though is not to show some gameplay, it's more to just talk about the game and where it's come and where it's going, and just generally speak about what happened to the game and whether it's worth playing or not. You know, it's gone free to play now, so I'm just going to run you through all of that stuff, all the new free to play features, and you know, the cartel market and stuff. Is the game pay to win now, for example? Things like that I'm going to speak about, and also speak about why the game generally failed. Even though I don't quite think it's fair to say that it failed, but that is sort of the route it went down. You know, it did lose a lot of players as a result of EA's screw-ups. We're going to talk about that now. So let's start right back at the beginning, you know, with SWTOR and where it was going before it was even launched. There was a lot of hype around SWTOR, as you may have known if you were one of the people hyping over it. I followed it for 3 years. I didn't get a beta invite once, except for the open beta weekends just a couple of weeks before it launched. I got into those, of course, as did everyone who was applied for beta. But I never got into the beta or anything like that. It had a really long beta. The beta was just over a year long. The beta was about a year long. So it was a really long beta to filter out a lot of bugs and such. And it was looking really well. All of the stuff they were saying, something amazing, it was going to be a next-gen MMO, all that stuff. And then now we get back into launching. It launched with pretty much everything that they said they were going to do. It was absolutely amazing. We were all fanboying over it. Everything, it was absolutely amazing. I loved the leveling. I do like BioWare's story-driven games like Mass Effect and Knights of the Old Republic, so I really enjoyed the leveling. It was a new leveling system. I hate leveling in other games. It's just grind. Whereas in this, there was a story to it. There was actually a good and interesting story, so I had something to follow and do and find interesting while I was leveling. Although I did skip through it the first time because I just wanted to hit max level and experience the end game. So leveling was fine, but then once we got to the end game, to the max level, there was nothing to do. And this is where the downfall of the game starts. There's absolutely nothing to do except for a couple of war zones, some really broken open world PvP, and one raid. They're called operations in SWTOR, but we'll say raid because it's a more commonly used term. So there was one raid, and then shortly after they did release another raid. It was called Kagura's Palace, but it was really short. It was one of those short raids, and wasn't an extra amount of content really. It was a tiny bit of content. It wasn't a big update, but it was just to keep you into the game. Because what happened was, the game launched 4 months before it was finished. The game was officially finished when patch 1.2 came out, which added all of the extra raids and tons of the other endgame content. Like, the game launched with the legacy system, which is quite an important part of this game. It was one thing I was really looking forward to. It sounds amazing, you know, it's like a global level that spreads across all your characters. So XP you gain on your characters, a certain part of that goes to legacy. As you can see in my chat box right now on the game, might be able to see you gain 6 legacy. That's legacy experience. It works just like level experience, but the legacy level is global. It goes across all of your characters. And the higher legacy level you gain, you know, you gain like extra little boosts like faster mounts, more XP gained, and that counts for all of your characters. So it's really handy if you want to level up a new character. You've now got an XP boost because you gained a few legacy levels on your other character. So legacy was really awesome, but it wasn't finished. You couldn't use it. You could gain legacy levels, but you couldn't use any of the bonuses or anything like that because the system just simply wasn't finished. Because EA pushed the game's launch to the end of 2011. BioWare wanted to launch in March 2012. But EA said, no, you've delayed the game enough, you're launching it in 2011, whether you like it or not. So BioWare pushed it right to the end of 2011, launched the game in December, as I've already said, completely unfinished. The end game was there was just barely any there, which really, of course, affected the players, and as a result, most people quit after about a month. But yeah, there was of course, the end game, the raids, and the PvP was completely broken. The game was still quite buggy. Could have done with, you know, another month or two of beta, really. Because I was going for server first on the server we were on, even though they didn't have server first achievements. I was still going to be one of the first level 50s on the server. And I got stuck in a memory leak so colossal, I just have no idea how it could not have been found. I found it in the open beta before actually finding it in launch, and I did report it twice, and in a survey I filled out about the beta, I wrote a lot of information about it. So this was a screw up on BioWare's part. It took like several thousand people spamming it on the forums. That's what it took for them to fix this memory leak. It was in a key area of the planet Taris where you enter a building, and pretty much, we found out later it was to do with it was something buggy to do with the quest tracker. But if you had quests tracked when you enter that building, you'd get about 1 frame every minute, and the game would crash quite quickly as well. And you just wouldn't be able to navigate your way out of this building. You would just be stuck. I got stuck in there for 2 days, and at the end of the 2 days when I finally got out, most people on the server were level 50, which was a really big bummer for me, and the several thousand people that also got stuck in it. Because it didn't affect everyone, but it did affect the majority of people. Which sucks. That's a big screw up on BioWare's part. But realistically, that's the only screw up I can think of that's BioWare's fault. Like, there's leeway for it because it was their first MMO, their first time doing this, so they're going to be new to it. There's going to be bugs. It's an MMO anyway. There's going to be bugs regardless of whether the company's new or not. Such a big game. But it was EA's fault that this game went downhill because there was no content. Everyone quit and thought, okay, we'll resubscribe in March when all the content comes out. And then, of course, no content did come. Well, sorry, content did come out, but no one resubscribed in March. So the game completely finished in March and no one resubbed. I did, but then none of my guild did. I was like, well, I'm on my own now playing, and I think I played like a couple of hard modes. I did a few war zones, and then I just didn't even play. And I bought 2 months of sub, and I probably played for a solid 5 hours total in that time, which is pretty appalling, really. It was really sad. I was like, come on, guys, this game we've waited for 3 whole years, and you're just gonna not play? And they were all like, I just can't be asked. I'm playing this now, or me and my guild are this far through World of Warcraft now, and you know we just don't want to resub to it. Maybe in future sometime, which was a real disappointment for me anyway. But I'm playing it again at the moment with the free to play stuff, and it's quite good. So I'm going to talk about the free to play things now. They've really pulled this game back with this free-to-play update. This really shows that BioWare have a good head on their shoulders. They've really done some good work with this free-to-play system. I'll tell you everything about it now. Of course, the free-to-play system pretty much is for people who want to just play and level. You don't really get access to endgame content or anything like that. It's sort of like the best free trial for a game, for an MMO ever. You get access to all the leveling content, so you can level from 1 through 50 completely. And then there's like passes. This is what I love. It allows people to try out the stuff for really cheap, and then try out all the endgame content. Once they hit level 50 through the free-to-play system, they can buy like a week-long pass for flashpoints, and it's really cheap. And you buy it off the cartel market, which is the new thing that's come in with the free-to-play update. And you can buy, for example, a week-long pass for the flashpoints for, as I've already said, a cheap amount. And then you can try out all the hard modes or heroic modes if you're more used to that term on flashpoints. See if you like it, things like that. And then if you do like it, you can subscribe for all the endgame content, which is, in my opinion, a really good way of handling a free trial. They could, I think, give you, once you hit level 50, the option of choosing, say, a free week of raids or a free week of war zones or a free week of flashpoints, rather than having to make you pay, because then it just makes the free trial experience even more complete, and people, I think they'd gain more players that way. Because what most people probably do is hit 50, and then they might think, oh, I literally have no money, because they might be quite young and their parents might not be willing to buy anything for them over the internet, which is, quite common. So they'll be like, oh, well, even though it's cheap, I still can't afford that week-long pass to see if I like the endgame content. So I think BioWare should give a free week of, like war zones, flashpoints, and operations or raids at once. So as soon as the person hits 50, they activate, so that they can experience that stuff. And then if they do like it, maybe get on their hands and knees and beg their parents for to buy the sub for them. Even if they're giving them money or whatever. Some people's parents just don't like to buy stuff over the internet. But they've handled it quite well. The game definitely is not pay to win right now. It's more like pay to level up faster, which I think is actually pretty cool. You can buy gear, but not level 50 gear. The highest level gear you can buy is 43, and it's going to be useless at level 50 in PvP and such. It's just leveling gear. I really like that because I hate leveling. I really like to get through it quickly, and I don't screw around with stuff. I don't like mess around with my gear, adding enchants to it and checking what's the best gear on the auction house. Whatever gear I find laying around or whatever gear I get from quests is the only gear I'll use. And sometimes you go like 20, 25 levels before finding like a new pair of boots or a new pair of gloves that are actually better than yours. And your gear starts to get really out of date and you can really start to struggle, especially when you have to, kill like elites and stuff for quests. It does get a bit annoying. But this feature now giving you the option to be able to buy gear. I think you can buy you can buy a full set of gear at level 15, 31 and 43, which is perfect. You got sets that will last you through the leveling process there, and they're decent sets of gear as well. And cosmetically, they actually look very nice. They are very nice looking bits of gear as well. And then there's completely cosmetic sets of armor, like speeder pilot suits and shit like that, which is really cool. But yeah, it's definitely not pay to win. And then more features that a free-to-play player can buy is you can't wear epics, so purples, as a free-to-play player, but you can buy it. It's really cheap. It's like stupidly cheap. It's cheaper than the 1 week passes to unlock these sort of things. And they're permanent. They last permanently. It's not like 1 week of wearing epics. It's a permanent buff. Well, it's not a buff, but it's a permanent thing that you have access to, and you can buy loads of other cool things there that are not just for the free-to-play players. So stuff that will actually benefit you if you're a subscriber, which means like stuff like you can buy something so that you can use speeders on across all your accounts at level 10 instead of level 25, which is pretty damn cool. I don't know how the hell you're going to get the money for that though, because unless they've nerfed it, it was quite bloody expensive, and I can remember I don't think I bought the speeder until like level 28 or something, because I just didn't have the money. In terms of like this, they've just added loads of cool little things, like you can customize your HUD or shit like that. As you can see, mine looks very different to the standard HUD. It looks more like a typical MMO HUD, except for I've kept the bars at the top. It's very active. It's got a really active player base. A lot of people were thinking that literally no one was playing this, but I think they only barely dropped below 1 million subscribers. There was still a lot of people playing, but they had a lot of servers, so the player base was really divided up across all the servers. But what they've done now is they've combined all of the servers, and there is only a few compared to before. And as a result, all of the servers are really active. I'm on a high pop server, and I have no problem using the new group finding system to find like hard mode instances and stuff, and just do them quite easily, no problem whatsoever. You can queue for war zones, all sorts of cool stuff like that, which are really convenient and just really helpful. That of course they had planned to put in. It wasn't like, oh, we forgot to put this in, let's copy World of Warcraft. No, it was a case of this is all stuff that was planned to go in, but the game launch was pushed, and it never managed to get in time, and it got in March in the 1.2 update, where so much content was added. There's been like, and also on top of that, there's been like several more patches on top of 1.2. I think has 1.6 just come out? Was that the free-to-play update? Or is 1.6 about to come out? I'm not sure. As you can see, there is the cartel market here. It looks pretty cool. Because I subscribed for quite a while, I have quite a lot of free coins on it, so I can afford pretty much anything on it. It really isn't expensive on there. Honestly, it's really cheap stuff on there. I had 1,700 cartel coins, I think, because I actually don't have sub right now. So what I did was I bought one of the 1 week free passes to Flashpoints and Warzones, so that I can make some videos, make some SWTOR videos. I'm going to be doing I'm going to update the Imperial Agent Healing Guide. My previous guide works quite well, to be honest with you. I'm using it now. It's what I heal by. It's my preferred method of healing with the HOTS and diagnostic scan. But it still works, but I'm sure there's a couple of updates I can make to it, so I'll definitely be doing that. But anyway, back to the topic of the game. In all honesty, I do think that certain parts of the game have been nerfed in terms of difficulty. This hard mode was really bloody easy. It is the easiest one, but I don't remember it being quite this easy. I remember the bosses being able to pack quite a bit of a punch, but I really had no problem healing this. There was a couple of like DPS that just thought they were tanks in this group, and they were losing health quite quickly because they're DPS. But keeping the tank up was no problem. I was like not spam healing him or anything. I heal him once, like do stuff to the group. Cure them and debuff people. Not debuff people. What's it called? I haven't been playing MMOs for so long. I'm so out of the loop. Like removing debuffs from them. Been doing stuff like that, but it was all in all quite easy to heal. I do have quite decent gear, but I don't remember it being quite this easy. So they may have made it a bit easier because shit was hard. I mean, it really was hard. In my decent gear, like full epics and stuff, I can remember being like completely raid geared. I remember having trouble with certain hard modes where I just would not be able to heal people. That they would be taking so much damage, like a colossal amounts of damage. So I think they've made it a bit easier, which is good, because I think like this is the easiest hard mode, so this one is probably easy. But if I go over to try the harder hard modes, I think they might actually be quite hard. It does have some things they could fix up, like you see here. My team has gone through that door, essentially, the elevator, and has aggroed on the other side of it, and as a result we can't come through because they're in combat and we have to wait. There we go, now I can go through. Stuff like that could do with a bit of fixing up BioWare, so sort stuff like that out. That would be pretty cool if the people on the other side of the elevator aren't in combat until they go through the elevator, because I was the healer there, the tank could have died. But yeah, it's like 90% awesome and then 10% this could be fixed up, because the game is a good game. It's always been a good game. They did everything they said they were going to do. Everything that everyone was looking forward to was in the game. All the stuff that we were excited about, like, oh my god, this is going to be the next gen MMO, stuff like that. It's all in here. It was just sort of divided up rather than all coming out at once on launch day. It's spread out over a couple of patches, and we can again thank EA for that. So sticking the finger to EA there. They ruined the game, essentially. They didn't ruin the game because the game is still good, but it's just everyone unsubbed, and then when it came to it, no one resubbed because they were busy doing other things. I don't understand where EA's head is at the moment. They just seem to just not be thinking things through at all. Like, absolutely no thought process whatsoever, and just saying, yes, do that. They could have made so much more money out of this game, because that's all EA are after, is just money. They're just money-hungry retards, frankly, which is a really good way of summing them up. Money-hungry retards. They have no bloody idea what they're doing. No idea at all. They should have just left BioWare, finish the game, launch it in March. I would have happily waited. Honestly, anyone looking forward to this game and knowing how awesome it was going to be would have happily waited until the game would have come out. They wouldn't, in March, there wouldn't have been this whole everyone quitting and then not bothering to resub because they're busy with other things. That wouldn't have happened, because people would have just waited until Star Wars came out. They wouldn't have had anything on. They would have just played Star Wars, got into it, all the endgame would have been there, people would have got straight into the endgame content and started going through it, and then BioWare could have steadily released more content as time went on, and then the odd expansion or two would be great, so for even more endgame content and whatnot. That is how the game should have been handled, not fucking launching it 4 months before it's finished. I don't even think a game has ever been launched officially before it's officially not finished. The game was tagged as not finished, and BioWare were forced to launch it. Shocking behaviour. Like the EA ruining a lot of games, but like the prices of their games on Origin don't make any sense at all. It's fucking PC. It doesn't come with a disc. It doesn't come with casing or anything like that. It's games on PC are at standard $29.99, and that's in pounds. But on console games, because there's a bit more going into them, and there's licensing and shit like that needs paying for. So they go for $39.99. Sorry, so £10 more, so 25% extra cost. But Origin are doing that with their PC games. They're putting the extra 25% on for no apparent reason, and it's like, we're PC players, we're not fucking console players, We understand that console games are more expensive than PC games. It's just EA's ignorance once again. They think that because the majority of games are console gamers, they're going to... that the PC gamers are going to somehow be used to these £40 costs. No, I've been a PC gamer for years and years and years, and I am used to the $29.99 cost, not this bullshit $39.99 cost. when you charge that, it's not like, oh, console players will pay that because they're used to it. No, they're fucking PC players. Origin is a PC platform, not a console platform. You charge PC prices, not fucking console ones. I don't understand EA's logic at all. They're money hungry retards, as said before. I can't describe how pissed off I am with that company. Frankly, I wish all of the game developers underneath them would just leave, join other companies. I know they're under contract with EA, so they couldn't really do that. But I wish they could, and then EA could just shrivel up and die, because they have ruined so many good games recently. It's just, wow. I like Battlefield 3. I was really hyped up for that, but all this bullshit stuff that they're coming out with. They remind me of Activision. It's just, Activision is so bad, and I'm so used to them being bad now that they're just at the back of my mind. I don't even care about them anymore, because luckily no games I like actually come out under Activision. But games I do like come out under EA, and I'm so sick of EA ruining them. So I honestly hope someone from EA sees this and, honestly, fuck you to you. You are ruining this industry so badly, taking all your shit off Steam and that, putting on Origin. That's what I found funny as well, how EA supported SWTOR. That's hilarious, because obviously what happened was, and I was one of these people, I'm not going to lie, I pirated Mass Effect 3, because I was not giving EA money. No bloody way was I giving EA money. And I'm not pirating just to be a pirate, I'm not that sort of person. But there was no way EA was getting any of my money, no way. Absolutely no way. I'm taking money from them, if anything. No. That is why EA supported SWTOR, because they launched Origin. So many people were like, there is no way am I giving EA any money after that, because not only are the games cost way more than they should, not only did the games cost way more than they should, but you've just taken them straight off Steam, you're splitting it up, you're encouraging other companies to do the same. So 5 years down the line, every bloody game developer has their own platform like Steam and Origin, their own digital distribution method, and we're going to have 20 different bloody programs downloaded to play our games. They're just taking the games industry in the wrong blimmin' direction as usual. But what happened was everyone saw that and was just like, no, we're not giving EA money, so we're going to pirate their games. So everyone started pirating their games. EA obviously became really aware of this and were like, oh shit, we're losing a lot of money compared to what we were gaining on Steam. And EA then supports SWTOR to try and stop piracy of their games. It just all makes sense that the company is failing, really. And it's so hilarious how they don't learn from their mistakes at all. You really need to sort your head out big time, EA, honestly. But anyway, guys, I'm going to do some more SWTOR content, just sort of bringing you up to date on the game over the next few videos, and I'm going to do some PvP, see what it's like, and do essentially review aspects. I'm going to try and get into some of the newer raids, do some PvP, and extra and all sorts of other stuff. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. I've been Tormandy. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. I'll be doing some more videos like this, as I just said. And I do general Let's Plays, sort of gameplay content and that sort of thing. So, yeah. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and have a good one.